first thing I want to start with is a lot of us know, some of us in here have no idea. And I just want to speak on Brian Blevins for a second. When I came around in the late 2019 and I'm hearing this guy's name and I hear about John and I'm running around with Todd and I work with Todd and I really start to understand what loving people means and what loving people looks like. I don't want to sound harsh, but a lot of people in religion or in church communities, they love Sunday. They love to check that box. They want to show up every week, but they don't want to love someone on Monday, and they don't want to love someone on Tuesday, and they don't want to answer that phone on Wednesday. And what Brian Blevins showed me is the true meaning of what loving people look like. So many of us in here have no idea the sacrifices that man made from his family, from his friends, with his children. He answered every single call, and he answers every single call. And he does not get enough credit. Brian, personally, I love you, bro, and I see you. John's going to touch a little more on Friday night. What I want to touch on is about 15 years ago, in 2007, I committed my first string of felonies. I go to prison. But 3 years before that, I graduated high school, and I instantly started coaching wrestling and football at Mississinawa Middle School and high school. And that's also when I started dabbling in drugs, was 2004. So for 2.5 years, I'm using every single day, and I'm coaching people's children in the community, and I'm an absolute wreck. And on the outside, I had everything. Outside, everything looked good. On the inside, I have a hole, and I'm dying, and I don't know what I was missing. And when I caught those felonies in 2007, I was currently actively coaching in Mississinawa, and I was told by Mississinawa, by my peers, that I would never, ever have a chance to coach again, have a chance to teach, have a chance to do anything. My felonies, my choices, my actions would never allow me to step foot back in schools in that capacity ever again, but God. Just over a year ago, John and I had a conversation, and we were broken, and we had just lost 2 people within a 3-week span, give or take, and they had overdosed and they had died, and we're loving these people, and we're watching it happen over and over and over again, and we are broken, and we're looking at each other, and we don't know where to go from there, and we don't know what to do. And one of us, I don't remember, I think John said, what does it look like if we could reach the kids before they become active in addiction, and they don't have to know the path that their parents traveled or that we traveled? What does that look like? I didn't know. He didn't know. But we knew that with God's help, and if we just stayed on our path and we stayed faithful, something would happen and a question would be answered. You fast forward 5-6 months, John's in Wabash, and a lady from the DCS says, hey, we see what you do on social media, and we see that you have a buddy. What does it look like for you guys to come in and speak in Wabash County to our 5 high schools? And John brings it back to me, and we're kind of just like, wow. Like a seed that was planted in your living room is starting to grow, but what does that look like? So 15 years after I was told that I'll never, ever be able to coach again or teach or be in schools in any capacity because of my choices and my drug addiction and my felonies, we find ourselves in a 9-day period speaking to 2,300 kids on addiction. those 5 schools, a lot of you guys know Nathan Harmon and Your Life Speaks. And we sent Nathan some videos, and Nathan was like, man, you guys have a story and you guys can impact. And Nathan Harmon buys into what we're doing. And here we are now. We've spoke to well over 3,000 kids in a year, and we just signed on to Your Life Speaks. And this thing is really starting to take form. And none of it was possible without obedience and without God. 15 years ago, I was told I'd never do this, and the Lord just kept opening doors, and by faithfulness, and my word for 2023 was transparency, and I spoke on it Friday night, and by being transparent, and by being open, and by being honest with my struggles and my addiction, and by being obedient to the Lord, and really walking in and understanding the hell that I went through, I have the ability to try to bring people out of that hell and to show people God's goodness, and that if He did it for me, He will do it for you, and He will do it again and again. And these last 3 years have just been tremendous, and like Blev touched on, it truly starts with, if you show me your friends, I'll show you my future. When you surround yourself with men and women of God, and that wall and that hedge of protection is all around you, and you're being obedient, and you're walking in what you're called to do, the enemy can't get through, and nothing can stop you, and only God's glory, and we live it glory to glory. It's going to continue to shine, and you're going to continue to do what He's called you to do, and the possibilities are endless. And we're just so blessed, and John's going to come up here and speak on Fridays. And I just want to thank you guys for the opportunity. And I want to thank you personally, because 3.5 years ago, I was a wreck and I didn't know what I was doing. And I was in a van with you every day, and you spoke life. And you taught me what it looked like to be a man of God and to lead a family. And now I have a wife, and I'm able to lead a family. And we got a little girl on the way. And the blessings are just, they never stop. But I want to thank you, because you'll never know the place that you have in my heart. And I know we joke around, but what you meant to me and what you mean to me, words can never express. And I just truly want to thank you. But with that, I'm going to pass the mic back to Todd. Thank you, guys.